I just finished putting fuel in Travato. Kelly started rolling the window up.
That didn't sound right.
Great. Now we got something else we got to fix. We thought we knew what it was. I figured it was the mechanism that operates the electric windows on that ProMaster. And sure enough, the regulator had failed. It had broken in a couple of places. The clip that holds the glass, also the part that's connected to the cable that pulls up and pulls down, that was gone. Now where we live, we got a lot of people who like to come and help when you got projects going on, and I had already talked to some of those folks, and so I had plenty of help. The downside of that is I didn't get to video it. So this is going to be a compilation of 3 or maybe it was 4 different videos, each of which I found as I was working to discover what's the right way to do this. There wasn't a single video anywhere to be found that covered everything from taking the trim off to getting the new regulator out to putting a new regulator in. None of that was out there. So fortunately, some of my friends, some of my neighbors knew how to do it and helped me get through that. So thanks to them, we got it done. In the meantime, I have been able to do more research to see if there is a single video. There is not a single video, so that's the purpose of this one. To take what I found on the internet, piece it all together, and show you instructionally, here's what you need to do. Because I tell you, I'm not going to take my window back apart or the door back apart. And much as I like all you folks, I don't want to go through that again. It's tedious. There's not a lot of room to work. But when you got to do it, you got to do it. Right now, I don't got to do it. I want to thank the following folks for the videos that they put together, which have enabled this video I'm going to be sharing with you. The FitRV, Silvermomma, WW321, and Mick's Garage. If you want to see the full version of each of the videos I used, they're linked in the description area below this video. Let's get into this. When ordering a new regulator, don't be misled by the numbers found on the old regulator's motor. Instead, go straight to a supplier's website and order based on the information that's relevant to your vehicle. A tip for those who have a difficult time determining right from left: in the U.S., steering wheels are found on the left side of the vehicle. Tools you're going to need: a regular flat blade screwdriver, a T27 Torx bit and driver, a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver, a small regular flat blade screwdriver, trim tools, and a 10mm wrench. We're going to start with taking the trim off the door. Thanks to James at the FitRV for showing us how to access the regulator by removing the door trim.
Okay, so we're going to first start with the real easy and obvious stuff. There are 4 T27 bolts holding on this bottom pocket. We're going to take those off. All right, there are 4 of those. That comes off pretty easy. Just set that aside. There's one more up top here, so let's get that one next. Okay, there's some Phillips head screws under here. I'm going to remove those next. Okay, this next one's pretty tricky. There's actually a screw behind this little plastic plug here. You're going to need something pretty tiny to pry that out. I have this tiny screwdriver. There we go. And it's just a Phillips head screw in there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is there's some clips that are holding this on the bottom part of it. There are actually still some more screws in the top, but there are clips here, so get a little pry bar or something. There's a clip right about here. There we go. And then just start working your way around the door and you'll find the clips. So while you're working your way around removing clips, you may as well pop off this speaker grill. Comes off without too much difficulty. There we go. Okay, next we're going to remove the speaker. So this is just held in place, in my case, with some Phillips head screws. I do not have the factory speakers. I've got an upgraded JBL speaker, but the factory speakers are held in the same way. You can see the screws for those here. So I'm just going to remove these. Okay, when you remove the last screw, your speaker may want to come out on its own. That's fine. You do need to notice this little relief here in the trim, see right up there? That's where you're going to want to route the wires when you go to put your speaker back in. There's this relief cutout in the trim panel there. That's where the wires go through. The speaker should just come right out. And there's a clip there. I'll have to remove that. Let me put this stuff down.
Factory speakers have the wire clip integrated into the body of the speaker. Use a small screwdriver to depress the locking tab and remove the clip.
There we go. Okay, so at this point, it's getting pretty loose, but there's still some screws up in here holding this thing in. To get to those screws, you have to start removing this. So we have to remove this little door lock and window trim panel. There should be a metal clip on the bottom of this one.
When you're taking this out, if you look, it's got a tab on this end, and this is the end that pops out with that little clip. But I noticed when I did it that if I pried from the corner right here and just got my putty knife under here lifted up enough, then I could push against this clip right through here, push against it and get it to pop up. It popped up really easy.
Now this is going to have some more wires attached to it, considerably more here than on the passenger side. So we're going to need to disconnect these. And once you've removed that, you'll see that there's another T27 bolt in here that we can remove. All right. Okay, so next we need to remove the door lock mechanism, or the door handle. The easiest way I found to do that, you kind of open up the door a little bit, and then you put this pry tool behind the door, and then you pry this trim piece out. Come on, there we go. Come on out. There we go. And once you do that, you'll see right in there, there's two more bolts. We remove those and we can remove the door. Okay, and with that, this should come off. Now the one thing you may want to do is, now that you've got the door clear, is to remove the door lock so that you don't have to try to fiddle it through there. Easiest way to do that is you remove this blue cable from the retaining clip here, and then rotate, and the pin pops right out of that. Door lock off. And here we go. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Ta-da. Next thing, we want to remove this little panel on the bottom. This has just got some more clips in it. That's pretty easy to remove. And there we go. And the final step is this guy here. Now this is like a piece of weatherproofing kind of stuff. It's actually held on here with this sticky black stuff, which those of you that have RVs is very similar to the butyl tape that you would use like to seal up a roof vent or something like that. The easiest way I found to do that is to just get a little bit started and then kind of use a scraping tool and just gently peel it all away. I've got a tear in the door there, look at that. I didn't do that, somebody else did that. All right, so let's get to work on that. And there we go. 10 minutes later, we have access to the inside of the door.
Next, gently detach the power connector from the regulator. The location of the 4 10mm nuts that need to be removed are shown here and circled with red. Be certain that you have your window taped up so that it won't slip as you prepare to remove the window regulator. Using the 10mm ratchet and socket, or 10mm open end wrench, or closed end wrench, or box end wrench, or whatever 10mm wrench you have, you want to use it and take these 4 nuts off. After loosening all 4 nuts with a wrench, you should be able to get them off the rest of the way by hand. Now it's time to extract the regulator. You do so by gently maneuvering it through the inside of the door and out the hole on the bottom. Here's a tip for you. A bit of patience will pay off when you're extracting a regulator or installing a new regulator. Why? Because there are parts in that door that you're not going to be able to see very well, and you may encounter a sharp edge as you're sticking your hands through some of the holes within the door. So, patience pays. Better to tape over the top and down the other side like this.
Get this back in. See, not so difficult. And then you put it up in the holes. Behind the window, closer to you. Where's my little manhole? There we go. Now, I don't tighten these so tight that I could never get them off again, because it's really important. If you need to get in here, you can do it again. My biggest word of advice on all of this is to make sure your window works before you reassemble everything. I did that. See? And then you find another one here. All easy to do. And then my last screw goes down here to the bottom. Just, it's like getting to be extremely hot. I think it must be 90 something. Now my window is wanting to come down, so I'm keeping my hand here. All right. Now, it shouldn't come out.
There's a little pin that goes in a hole in the window here. You can flex the glass out over the pin.
Gently flex the glass out, slide it over the pin, then slide the locking clip over the pin.
And then after you got it all tore apart, then you need to put it back in so you can operate the window mechanism.
Let's see if my window works. This is a big reveal. I put my piece back on, and up.
To reassemble the door is just the reverse of what you just saw.
Hey, that's it for now. I do hope you got something out of this video. I hope I filled the void for someone, somewhere, at least one person. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you again soon.